These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
I'm Jamie Warren with your afternoon update from ABC15 Arizona. We start with the mobile home fire out of Buckeye this morning. Buckeye firefighters were called out to Miller Road and Yuma at around 1 o'clock this morning. When they arrived, crews say that someone was still inside, but they were able to save that man, who's now in critical condition at the hospital. The cause of this fire is still under investigation. New developments in a missing teen's murder investigation. Our ABC15 investigators confirmed that the FBI worked with authorities to search the home of the mother of Emily Pike. Authorities say that she did give them consent to a new search of her property. An FBI spokesperson saying that no arrests were made after that search. Rescue efforts continue after a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake shook the Myanmar region on Friday. More than 400 people have already been found underneath piles of rubble, and at least 2,700 have died. Jury selection in the Lori Daybell trial continues today. She's accused of conspiring to kill her fourth husband and her niece's ex-husband. Jury selection is expected to last for at least a week. And a key vote for the future of Chase Field. The ballpark improvement plan will be voted on in a committee, which could change how the D-backs stadium is funded. Our ABC15 political team will be following up on this as today's vote heads to the state Senate.
From Inauguration Day through mid-March, the Trump administration has imposed 20% tariffs on all Chinese products, 25% tariffs on most Canadian and Mexican goods, and 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum products from all countries. It has forced other governments to respond in a similar way, which could raise prices for you further at home. All is fair in love and war, except trade wars, where the effects on Americans could feel anything but fair.
A lot of these imports that are targeted by our import tariffs are used as inputs in the production of goods that then get exported. So the import tariffs also hurt our exports. And then on top of that, you have the retaliatory tariffs, which are directly targeting our exports. So from both ends, U.S. exporters are getting walloped.
Alex Durante is a senior economist with the Tax Foundation and says the biggest impact could be felt by farmers. In 2024, Canada and China were the U.S.'s second and third largest destinations for ag products. According to the American Farm Bureau Federation, the country's retaliatory tariffs would target nearly $27 billion worth of U.S. ag goods, with the largest impacts on soybeans, beef, and cotton.
Anything that can affect the economy of farms, like this situation we're in now, will likely lead us to see the continued decline in the number of farms in America.
Betty Resnick is an economist with the American Farm Bureau Federation and says despite the fact farmers are several steps removed from grocery stores, the impact could once again land on consumers. Retaliatory tariffs could decrease demand for U.S. goods, impacting production and farmers' bottom lines, increasing prices in stores.
But if we're radically shifting the demand structures for these agricultural products, that is going to take a long time for farmers to adjust to.
Is the administration going to have the same appetite to shovel money, to these farmers to bail them out? And that seems unclear. It's mostly going to be hurting our agricultural sector.
Other areas where the pinch could be felt are in automobiles and energy. Energy is the U.S.'s largest export to Canada, with demand increasing 70% year over year, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. Earlier in March, Ontario Premier Doug Ford imposed a 25% surcharge on electricity sent to New York, Minnesota, and Michigan, which he estimated would add around $100 per month to the bills of Americans in those states. He also threatened to shut off electricity entirely should the trade war escalate. Durante says the way the Tax Foundation is understanding all of this is these tariffs could be compounding. So let's say you buy a Mercedes-Benz from Germany. You'd have to pay the 2.5% tariff for the most favored nation tax. You'd also have to pay 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum, and then 20% tariffs for all EU countries, raising the price for you and importers considerably. Dan Grossman, Scripps News Group, Denver.
With your most accurate forecast on this April Fool's Day, I'm meteorologist Jorge Torres, and we're forecasting a cool start to the month of April and a windy start, too, across much of the state. Here in the valley, temperatures starting off in the mid-60s at 8 o'clock in the morning, lower 70s at midday with the breezes picking up and turning gusty in the afternoon with highs only in the mid-70s. Peak gusts in the metro anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour this afternoon. In the high country, especially as you head toward the White Mountains, winds will be even stronger with gusts around 45 to 55. Even some isolated and localized 60-mile-per-hour gusts cannot be ruled out. Highs up north in the 40s for Flagstaff and the South Rim, along with the 50s there in Heber and Shoalo, and 60s and 70s elsewhere across central and southern parts of the state. That 7-day forecast showing temperatures dropping here in the valley tomorrow, with highs in the upper 60s and lows around 50. In the high country, we have those rain and snow chances for the next several days, with highs staying in the 30s and 40s through at least Saturday, with lows in the teens and 20s, then back in the 50s by Sunday.
We will have another update tonight. Until then, you can always get the very latest news, weather, and traffic at abc15.com or by downloading that free ABC 15 mobile app.
These latest headlines from ABC 15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.